How did one joke kiss at a family BBQ end with papers handed to me in my office lobby in front of my team? Why did my husband stay calm for weeks, then flip the whole story with one lawful move I could not talk my way out of? I thought I dared him to leave. Instead, he left the right way and blocked me like I never mattered. My name is Seraphita Wynn, but everyone calls me Sera because the full name sounds like a poem and I like that. I was 34 and I worked as an event coordinator at a hotel near the airport. I planned weddings and conferences for other people, and I always said I knew how to manage a room. That day, I thought I would manage my own room too. It was my parents' backyard BBQ. The grass was dry from summer heat, and my mother had put out folding chairs like it was a show. My sister Maris moved around with her phone in her hand, smiling at people and filming little clips. She loved to post first and think later. I liked it when she did that, because it made me feel important. Ethan came with me, like he always did. He was my husband, but online, I often called him my boyfriend. I said it sounded younger and more fun. Ethan never argued about that in public. He worked as an electrician and had his own small jobs. He was not loud. He did not act like the men my friends called alpha. He acted like a man who paid bills and kept promises. I used to say that was stable. Later, I started saying it was boring. I had invited my ex, Logan Pierce. I told myself it was normal. I told myself it was a grown-up thing to do. Logan was a trainer at a gym and sometimes did promotions at bars. He knew how to look at people like they were the only person in the world. I liked that look. I missed it. I told myself it was not about wanting him. I told myself it was about proving something. Ethan asked why Logan was coming. I said Logan was still friends with my sister's boyfriend, and it was a BBQ, not a funeral. Ethan said he did not like surprises. I said he always wanted to control the mood. He said he only wanted respect. I said respect was earned, and I was the one who kept our social life alive. At the BBQ, my mother hugged Ethan with 2 pats like he was a visitor. She told him he looked tired. She asked if work was too much. Ethan said work was fine. My mother looked at me and smiled like she had made a point. Maris laughed and said Ethan always looked like he wanted to go home. I laughed too. I told myself it was harmless. Ethan's mother, Cynthia, came later with Ethan's dad. Cynthia was polite, but her eyes were sharp. She asked where Mila was, and Ethan pointed to our daughter, running with a bubble wand. Cynthia said she was glad Ethan brought fruit for the kids. She did not mention the cooler of hard seltzers my friends brought. I noticed that, and it annoyed me. Cynthia always acted like she was keeping score. My friend Talia showed up with 2 other friends. They started talking about trips and outfits and girl energy. Talia looked at Ethan and asked if he was still so serious. Ethan said he had a long week and wanted to relax. Talia said relaxing meant having fun. She told me, not Ethan, that I deserved someone who matched my vibe. I nodded like that was wisdom. Logan arrived like a spark. He wore a clean shirt and carried a small bag of fancy burger buns like he was helping. He greeted my parents like he belonged. My father shook his hand too long, and my mother smiled too wide. Maris squealed and said Logan always made things lively. Logan looked at me and lifted his eyebrows like we had a secret. My stomach tightened in a way I tried to call excitement, not guilt. Ethan saw him. Ethan's face changed for 1 second. Then he looked away and walked to Mila. He asked her if she wanted more bubbles. Mila said yes, and Ethan helped her with the wand. He acted like Logan was a cloud passing by. That calm made me feel small. I wanted Ethan to react. I wanted proof that I mattered. I told myself I would test him. I told myself it would be quick and clean. I told myself he would get jealous, and then laugh and then hug me later. I told myself that was love. It sounded simple in my head. People started eating. The grill smoked. Someone played music. Maris gathered people for a group photo near the patio. She told everyone to stand close. She made jokes about couples and chemistry. She looked at Ethan and asked if he even knew how to pose. Ethan said he was fine. Maris said he had the energy of a tax form. People laughed. I laughed too, because laughing felt like control. Logan moved next to me, close enough that my arm brushed his. He asked if I was okay. I said I was great and that Ethan needed to loosen up. Logan said Ethan looked like he was watching the door. I said Ethan always acted like that, like everything was a problem. Logan said I should have fun for myself. I liked hearing that. I walked Logan toward the patio, where the light was good and people could see but not hear. I wanted an audience without admitting it. Logan asked what I was doing. I said I had a dare. I said I wanted to see if Ethan would finally fight for me. Logan asked if I was sure. I said Ethan would not leave over something silly, and if he did, then he never loved me the right way. I leaned in and kissed Logan. It was quick. It was not a movie kiss. It was more like a stamp, but it was real enough. I pulled back and smiled like I had won a game. My heart beat fast, and I waited for Ethan to snap. I looked across the yard. Ethan stood near the drinks table with a paper plate in his hand. He watched for a second. Then he put the plate down. He did not shout. He did not move toward Logan. He did not move toward me. He walked straight to Mila. Mila was trying to open a juice box. Ethan helped her and wiped her hands with a napkin. He asked if she wanted to go wash up. Mila nodded. Ethan took her hand. He guided her toward the inside bathroom like it was a normal moment. He did not look back at me. The yard got quiet in a strange way, like people did not know where to place their eyes. My mother made a sharp laugh and said people were too sensitive these days. Talia laughed too and said it was just a joke. Maris lifted her phone higher like it was part of the fun. Cynthia stared at me, then looked away, and followed Ethan with her eyes. Logan stepped back and rubbed the back of his neck. He asked if Ethan was angry. I said Ethan was acting childish. I said he always tried to punish me with silence. Logan said he did not want drama. I said it was not drama, it was a lesson. I tried to follow Ethan, but my sister grabbed my wrist and told me to stay and not ruin the vibe. She said Ethan would calm down soon. Talia said Ethan would come back when he wanted attention. My mother said Ethan needed to learn that I could have options. I let those words fill me up like air. Inside the house, I heard the bathroom faucet run. I heard Mila's small voice, and then Ethan's low voice. I could not hear the words, but I knew the tone. It was steady. It was the tone he used when he fixed things without asking for thanks. That steadiness made me feel more angry than yelling ever could. When Ethan and Mila came back out, Ethan kept Mila close. He did not hold my gaze. He nodded to my father once, like he was being polite. Then he walked toward the driveway with Mila, like he needed something from the car. Cynthia followed a few steps behind, not rushing, not pleading. I stood by the patio with Logan and felt the heat in my face. I told myself Ethan was doing a performance. I told myself he wanted everyone to chase him. I told myself I was the brave one. Still, I watched the driveway and saw Ethan open the car door. I saw him buckle Mila in without looking around. Then I saw something else. Near the grill, someone kept a phone pointed toward the driveway, steady and quiet, like they were collecting the moment. I rode home with my mother's words in my head, like they were a shield. She had said Ethan was too stiff, and I deserved fun. Maris had said the kiss was nothing, and Ethan was making it big. Talia had said men always came back when they knew you had options. I repeated those lines so I would not feel the wrong feeling. Ethan drove our car home with Mila in the back seat. I sat in the passenger seat and watched the streetlights move over his face. He kept both hands on the wheel. He did not speed. He did not slam anything. That made me more mad, because I wanted him messy. I wanted him to look like the villain. I asked why he was acting like a stranger. He said he was focused on getting Mila home. I said he could at least talk. He said he would talk when Mila was asleep. I said he was using our child as a wall. He said he was being a parent. Mila hummed to herself and played with the strap of her bag. She asked if we were still having ice cream. Ethan said we could have ice cream at home. I said we could still go out if Ethan stopped being weird. Ethan said we were going home. Mila looked at me like she was checking if I would explode. I smiled too hard and told her it was fine. At home, Ethan helped Mila wash her hands and change into pajamas. I stood in the kitchen and watched him move around, quiet and careful. He asked Mila if she wanted a story. Mila said yes. Ethan asked if she wanted the bear book or the space book. Mila chose the space book. I wanted to interrupt and say I could do it, but I did not, because I wanted Ethan to notice me first. I tried to start an argument before bedtime. I asked if he was going to ignore me all night. He said he was not ignoring me. He said he was choosing calm. I said calm was just another way to punish someone. He said punishment was not his job. He said he did not want to fight in front of Mila. That line made me feel cornered. It sounded so reasonable. I needed him to sound wrong. I said he was acting like I did something terrible. He said I kissed my ex in front of our family. I said it was a joke. I said it was a dare and everyone laughed. He said everyone did not laugh. He said his mother did not laugh. He said Mila did not laugh. I said Mila was too young to understand adult humor. He said Mila understood disrespect. I followed Ethan to Mila's room like I had the right. He looked at me and asked if I could give them 5 minutes. I said I was her mother, and I did not need permission. He said I was her mother, yes, and he was her father, and he wanted peace for her. I said he was acting like a therapist. He said he did not want to act like anything. He said he just wanted to finish the bedtime routine. So I stood in the hallway and listened. I hated myself for doing that, but I still did it. Mila asked why Daddy looked sad. Ethan said he was not sad at Mila. He said adults sometimes had feelings, but kids did not have to carry them. Mila asked if Mommy was mad. Ethan said Mommy was stressed and needed rest. Mila asked if Mommy would leave. Ethan said Mommy was here. He said she loved Mila. He said both parents loved Mila. Those words should have made me grateful. Instead, they made me angry. He was covering for me. He was making me look normal. That took away my power to act like the victim. When Mila finally slept, Ethan came to the kitchen. He poured water into a glass. He did not pour anything stronger. He sat at the table like he was waiting for a meeting. I sat across from him and crossed my arms. I asked if he was going to apologize for embarrassing me by walking away. He asked how he embarrassed me. I said he made me look like a bad wife. He said he did not make me do anything. He said I chose what I chose. I said he was twisting it. I said I only wanted to see if he cared. He said love was not proved by humiliation. I said he was being dramatic. He said he was being honest. I told him he always tried to control my social life. I said he hated my friends and my family. He said he did not hate anyone. He said he did not like being mocked. I said nobody mocked him. He said Maris called him a tax form. I said it was a joke and he needed a thicker skin. He said jokes were only jokes when both sides laughed. He looked down at his phone once. The screen lit up and I saw a calendar alert flash for a second. It said, downtown 10:20 a.m. I asked what that was. He said it was a personal thing. I asked what kind of personal thing needed a calendar. He said a grown man could schedule his life. I said he was hiding something. He said he was protecting his peace. That phrase bothered me. It sounded like something you read on a poster. I said he was copying internet words. He said he was learning to stop reacting. I said he should react. I said if he loved me, he would fight. He said fighting was not proof of love. He said staying lawful was proof of character. I rolled my eyes and laughed. I said he was acting like a saint. He did not smile. He reached to the counter and moved a folder away from my side. I saw the label for half a second. It said bank. I asked why he had a bank folder out. He said he was organizing household things. I said he never organized anything before. He said he did. He said I just did not notice because I only noticed drama. I stood up fast. I said he was calling me shallow. He said he was not calling me anything. He said he was stating facts. I said facts were only facts when they helped him. He looked at me and took a slow breath. Then his phone made a soft beep, like a small click. He set it face down. I asked if he was recording me. He said he was recording his own memory because things got twisted later. I said that was creepy. He said it was responsible. I said normal couples did not do that. He said normal couples did not kiss exes at family BBQs. I wanted to throw something, but I did not. I wanted to scream, but I did not. I wanted him to be the one who lost control. So I changed tactics. I softened my voice and said I was sorry he felt hurt. I said I did not mean it like that. I said he was too sensitive and I could help him feel secure if he stopped punishing me. He looked at me like he could see the shape of my words. He asked if I was actually sorry for what I did. I said I was sorry he reacted so strongly. He nodded once, like he had expected that answer. Then he stood up and said he was going to sleep in the guest room. I said he was being childish. He said he was choosing distance. I said distance would ruin us. He said the kiss already did damage. He walked down the hall without slamming doors. A minute later, I heard a small sound from the garage. It was a low hum, like a machine running. I told myself it was just him being dramatic. I told myself he was trying to scare me. But when I passed the guest room later, the bed was made with a different blanket, and his phone was on the nightstand, face down. I stood in the dark and felt a tight, cold thought move through me. When I went back to my room, I checked my phone. I wanted comfort from my friends. I saw a message preview from Maris with laughing emojis. Under it, I saw another notification I did not recognize. It said, "No caller ID had tried to reach Ethan earlier." I stared at that line for a long time, and I did not know why my stomach felt like it was falling. Monday at work felt like a stage, and I walked in like I owned it. I told myself I was the steady one. I told myself Ethan was the one acting strange. The truth was that I needed people to agree with me. If enough people agreed, then I would not have to look too hard at what I did. My office was an open-plan space with glass meeting rooms and bright lights that made everyone look tired. I worked events, so I knew how gossip moved. It moved faster than emails. I came in with a careful face. I did not cry. I looked strong. That matters in an office. My coworker Jenna asked why I seemed tense. I said my husband was being cold and controlling after a harmless joke. I said I could not even breathe without him acting offended. Jenna asked what kind of joke. I said it was a silly moment at a family BBQ, and he walked away like a baby. Jenna said that sounded stressful. I nodded like I was suffering. Later, my manager asked if everything was okay at home. I said yes, but I also said Ethan had been toggle moody and wanted to punish me. I said I was handling it. I said I always handled things. I did not say I kissed my ex. I said jealousy, and people filled in the rest for me. That was easy. At lunch, I sat in the break room and scrolled my phone. Maris had already posted clips from the BBQ. I saw myself laughing near the patio. I saw Ethan in the background looking away. I watched it 3 times. Each time, I felt more sure I was right. Ethan looked like he was judging everyone. Ethan looked like he wanted to ruin the mood. That is what I told myself. Talia sent me a voice note. She said Ethan was trying to control me because he felt small. She said I should not back down. She said men respected women who did not beg. I told her I agreed. I told myself I agreed because it sounded strong. I did not want to admit I also felt scared. Logan texted me in the afternoon and asked if Ethan was still mad. I said Ethan was acting dramatic and quiet, like he wanted pity. Logan asked if I wanted to meet later. I said yes. I said I needed a fun night to clear my head. I also said it was normal to be friends with an ex. I said grown people did that. When I got home after work, Ethan was in the kitchen cutting fruit for Mila. He had a separate mug on the counter, not ours, just his. That was new. I told him it looked silly. He said it was just a mug. Mila asked if we could go to the park after dinner. Ethan said yes. I said yes too, but I said it in a way that made it sound like my idea. I asked Ethan if he wanted to talk. He said we could talk about Mila's schedule and school stuff. I asked if he wanted to talk about us. He said he did not want to argue. I said he was avoiding. He said he was choosing calm. That line again. It always sounded like he was trying to win without raising his voice. I hated that. While Mila washed her hands, I saw Ethan's laptop open on the table. It showed a spreadsheet with rows of dates and times. There were columns like pick-up and drop-off, and something that looked like links. He closed the laptop when he noticed me looking. I asked what it was. He said it was household planning. I said he never planned like that. He said he did now. His phone lit up and I saw a small message on the screen that looked like a system alert. It said, "A file uploaded successfully." Ethan swiped it away fast. I asked what he was uploading. He said it was work stuff. I said he was lying. He said I could believe what I wanted. That sentence made me feel powerless. So I did what I always did. I made a scene in a safe way. I used my phone. I posted a story that night with a caption about men who could not take a joke. I did not use his name, but I used a photo from the BBQ where he was clearly in the background. I also tagged him. I told myself it was fair. I told myself he embarrassed me so I could embarrass him back. I told myself it was balance. Ethan saw it. He did not yell. He asked me to remove the tag. I said it was my page, and he could not control it. He asked why I needed strangers to comment on our marriage. I said he started it by acting cold. He said he started nothing. He said he just stepped away to protect Mila from stress. I said he was using Mila as an excuse again. He said I was using the internet as a weapon. We went to the park anyway. Mila climbed and laughed. Ethan pushed her on the swing. I stood on the side and texted Talia. I told her Ethan was doing a fake good dad act. I said he wanted everyone to think he was perfect. Talia said men love to look like victims. I read her message and felt relief. I wanted relief more than truth. After the park, I told Ethan I was going out with friends. He asked who. I said it did not matter. He said it mattered because Mila needed a routine. I said he was policing me. He said he only wanted to know who would be around Mila. I said Logan would be there, and Ethan could not stop me. Ethan got quiet for a moment. Then he asked if I planned to keep bringing Logan into our life. I said Logan was not in our life, and Ethan was being paranoid. I met Talia and Logan at a rooftop bar. The patio lights made everyone look pretty. People laughed loud so they would not have to listen to themselves. Talia told me I looked free. Logan told me I looked beautiful. I let those words wash over me. I told myself I deserved them because Ethan did not give me that energy anymore. A friend took pictures. Talia asked if I wanted Logan closer in the frame. I said yes. I told myself it was just a photo. I posted it with a song and a wink emoji. People reacted fast. They always do. When I got home, Ethan was not in the living room. Mila's door was closed. The guest room door was closed too. The house was calm in a way that felt like a warning. I checked my phone in bed and saw notifications stacking up. Among them was a message request from a name I did not recognize. It was a parent from Mila's school. The person asked in a polite way if everything was okay at home and if Ethan was safe. I stared at that line and felt my throat go dry. I told myself Ethan must have told people lies. I told myself he was trying to make me look dangerous. But a small part of me knew the simple truth. People were watching now. The next weekend, I decided we needed a family dinner. I said it like it was for Mila, like it was healthy and normal. Really, I wanted an audience again. I wanted people to look at Ethan and tell him he was wrong. I wanted pressure to do the work I could not do alone. We met at a family restaurant with a long table in the back. It was the kind of place that served big plates and had kids' menus with crayons. My parents came first. My mother walked in like she owned the room. She asked if Ethan was still having his mood. My father said we should all keep it calm. Maris arrived with her phone already out. Talia came too, even though she was not family. She said she was there to support me. That word sounded nice, so I let it happen. Ethan came with Mila. He carried a small backpack with wipes and a water bottle like he always did. He nodded at everyone and asked Mila where she wanted to sit. Mila chose a chair near Ethan, not near me. That stung. I told myself she was just in a phase. I told myself Ethan was turning her against me. Cynthia and Glenn arrived a few minutes later. Cynthia's face was polite but tight. She kissed Mila's forehead and asked about school. Mila said she liked her class. Cynthia said she was proud. Then Cynthia looked at me and asked, very calmly, if I planned to keep posting personal things online. I said I did not even know what she meant. Cynthia said she had seen my stories. I said she was spying on me. Cynthia said public posts were not spying. I tried to laugh. I said everyone was too serious. I said it was a hard time and I needed to vent. Ethan asked me, in a quiet voice, to please stop tagging him. I said he wanted to control me again. He said he only wanted privacy. Talia leaned in and said Ethan was trying to silence me. I liked how that sounded. It made Ethan look like the bad guy. The waiter came and asked if we were celebrating anything. My mother said we were celebrating family strength. Ethan did not smile. Maris asked if Ethan even knew how to celebrate. Ethan said he was there for Mila. Maris said I should not have to beg for romance. I nodded like that was true. Cynthia asked me why I kissed Logan at the BBQ. I said it was a dare and a joke, and Ethan was acting like I cheated. Ethan looked at his water glass and said it felt like cheating to him. I said feelings were not facts. Ethan said respect was a fact. I said he was dramatic. Glenn told Ethan to stay calm. Ethan said he was calm. He said he just would not accept humiliation. Mila started coloring and asked if we could get dessert. Ethan said we could after dinner. I said yes, and I tried to sound cheerful. Cynthia told Mila she would take her to the restroom later if she needed. My mother said Cynthia was acting like a second mom. Cynthia said she was acting like a grandma. My mother said grandmas should not interfere. Cynthia said grandmas should not enable bad behavior. The table went quiet. Even Maris stopped smiling. I felt heat climb up my neck. I said Cynthia hated me. Cynthia said she did not hate me, but she would not pretend. I said Ethan was making Cynthia turn against me. Cynthia said Ethan did not need to do that. She said my own post did that. I looked at Ethan and said he had told his mother lies. Ethan said he had told nobody anything except that he wanted privacy and peace. I said he was acting superior. He said he was acting responsible. I said he was punishing me. He said consequences were not punishment. That word, consequences, made me feel like I was being treated like a child. So I did what I always did. I made it about money and fairness, because that was where I knew how to hurt him. After dinner, the bill came. I picked it up first. I said I would pay, to show everyone I could. Ethan asked if we could split it. I said he was cheap. Ethan said it was not about cheap. He said it was about boundaries. I said boundaries were an excuse for control. He said boundaries were how adults stayed safe. In the parking lot, I asked him why he was acting like we were already separated. He said he was acting like we were in a serious situation. I said I was still his wife and he could not treat me like a stranger. He said he was treating me with respect by not yelling. I said I would rather have yelling than silence. He said he would not give me a scene. On the way home, Mila fell asleep in her car seat. Ethan carried her inside. and laid her on the couch for a minute so he could take off her shoes. I watched him do it and felt a strange fear. It was like he was practicing life without me. He moved like the house belonged to him in a new way. When he went upstairs with Mila, I went into our bedroom. I opened the top drawer where I kept extra cash and little notes. The drawer did not open. I pulled again. It was locked. I stared at it and felt insult rise up like a flare. Ethan had never locked anything from me before. I went to the hallway and asked him why the drawer was locked. He asked what I needed from it. I said it was my drawer too. He said he was organizing things and needed private space for a while. I said that was not normal. He said normal had already changed. The next day, I decided to run errands with Mila to prove I was still in control. I said we would do groceries and have a fun day. Ethan said he had work early and would be back later. I noticed a new key on his ring when he grabbed his tools. I asked what it was for. He said it was for a storage place. I asked what storage place. He said it was personal. At the supermarket, Mila asked for cereal with marshmallows. I said yes, because I wanted her happy. I filled the cart more than I needed. I wanted the feeling of abundance. At the checkout, I tapped my card like I always did. It declined. The cashier tried again. It declined again. People behind me shifted and sighed. My face burned. I told the cashier it was a machine problem. The cashier said it looked like a bank issue. I laughed too loudly and said banks were silly. Ethan arrived then, like he had planned it. He did not look surprised. He asked what happened. I said the card was acting up. He looked at the screen and said, in a calm voice, that we would handle Mila's essentials first. He paid for milk, fruit, and Mila's school snacks. He did not pay for the extra items I grabbed to feel powerful. He handed me 2 bags and took the rest himself. He said he had to go. He did not argue in the checkout line. He just left. I stood there holding the bags like I was someone else's problem. Mila looked up at me and asked why Daddy did not buy the cookies. I said Daddy was being strict. Mila asked if Daddy was mad at me. I said Daddy was confused. Mila said she did not like confusion. Later, we sat on a playground bench with our snacks. Mila swung her legs and asked why Daddy had his own mug now. She asked why Daddy slept in the other room. I told her Daddy was working a lot. Mila asked if Mommy did something bad. I told her no. I told her Mommy was just testing love. Mila frowned and said tests were for school. I did not like that she sounded like Ethan. That night, after Mila slept, I walked past the garage and smelled a faint toner-like scent again, like warm plastic and paper. I told myself Ethan was doing something for work. Still, I stood there for a long time, listening to the house stay quiet around me. I tried to fix the money problem by talking like it was a misunderstanding. I told myself Ethan would calm down if I acted normal, so I followed him into the driveway when he came home from a job site. He stepped out of his van, wiped his hands on a cloth, and looked past me like he was checking the street first. His car was pointed toward the road, not tucked in like before. That detail bothered me more than it should. I asked why he was acting like a stranger with bank stuff. He said he was protecting the household and Mila. I said I was the household too. He said I was making choices that forced him to be careful. I said he was punishing me because I had a personality. He said he was not punishing me. He said he was separating feelings from facts. I tried to bait him. I said he would not even dare do this if he was a real man. He looked at me for a long second, then looked away. He did not raise his voice. He asked if Mila was inside. I said yes. He said he would only talk when Mila was not listening. I said he always used Mila to avoid conflict. He said he used Mila to avoid harm. That word made me mad. I said I was not harming anyone. I said it was one kiss, one photo, one joke. He asked if I was still seeing Logan. I said Logan was not the point. He said the point was trust. I said trust was flexible if love was strong. He said love did not excuse disrespect. His phone alarm went off, sharp and short, like a reminder. I saw the words on the screen before he turned it. Paper drop. I laughed and asked if he was doing homework now. He did not smile. He muted the alarm and put the phone in his pocket. I stepped closer and said if he left, everyone would know he abandoned me. He said people already knew what I posted. I said I would tell them worse. He said I could say anything I wanted, but he would handle it properly. Then he walked into the house, locked his van with a click, and did not look back at me. I went to work the next morning like nothing could touch me. I wore a blazer and did my hair neat, because I believed the right look could fix the wrong story. In the elevator, I practiced lines in my head. I told myself Ethan was bluffing. I told myself he would fold when I stayed confident. At the office tower lobby, my manager messaged and asked me to come down for a quick meeting. I said, okay, like I was in control. I stepped into the lobby and saw two things at once. Our HR rep near the side chairs, and a man standing by the front desk with a calm face and a clipboard. Ethan was not there. That made me feel brave for 1 second. The man asked if I was Seraphita Wynn. I said yes and asked what this was about. He said he needed to confirm my identity and hand me a legal packet. I laughed and said he had the wrong person. He said he did not. He said I could accept it now or it would still be served, and he would note my response either way. My hands went cold. I looked around and saw people watching like they were trying not to watch. HR asked me to step aside. I said Ethan was doing this to scare me. HR said this was a workplace and I needed to keep it professional. I took the packet. The top page had bold words and my name. I scanned and saw the word petition. I saw temporary orders. I saw a schedule with days and times. I saw lines about money and possession of the home. I saw a warning about public posts and contact. I felt like the air had changed shape around my head. I told HR it was a private issue and I would handle it. HR asked if any of this had affected work or coworkers. I said no, and then I remembered my own stories and tags. HR said they had received complaints about personal drama and public posts connected to the workplace. I said people were jealous. HR said this was about risk, not jealousy. I called Ethan. It went to voicemail. I texted him and said he was being cruel and dramatic. I said we could talk like adults. The message did not show delivered yet, and I told myself it was just bad service. I tried Logan next. He did not answer. I sent a short message and asked him to back me up. I watched the screen and saw "seen" never came. It was like he evaporated when the game turned real. Later, I drove to the courthouse because I needed to understand. In the lobby, a clerk spoke in a flat voice and told me the temporary orders were active. She said the schedule started immediately. She said there were rules about contact and about posting. She said if I had questions, I should follow the proper process. She did not care about my feelings. That was the point. Outside, I finally saw Ethan across the public plaza, not close, not coming toward me. He stood with Cynthia near a bench, and Mila was with them, holding a small snack bag. Ethan looked calm and tired. I walked fast and asked if he could talk. He said he would only discuss Mila's pickup time and nothing else. I said I was his wife. He said this was now handled properly. I opened my phone and tried to message him again, louder in my hands than in my voice. The screen changed. It showed one gray line under my last text. Not delivered.